Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 2021 Maryland Rod and Reef Slam Awards ceremony. Thank you all for joining us here on the CBF and CCA live stream channels. I'm Allison Colton with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, here with my tournament co-director, David Sikorsky, Executive Director of Coastal Conservation Association Maryland. And we are so excited to have you all here today as we crown this year's winner of the Maryland Rod and Reef Slam. It's going to be a great afternoon. We've got tons of prizes to give out. We're super excited about all of the great prize packages we were able to put together for this year. And you guys have been really putting in some work this past week, getting those catch logs in, getting a wide variety of species. And we are so excited to share all of that with you guys today. So I'm going to kick it over to Dave real quick for an intro, and then we're going to jump in.
Absolutely. How's everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. You're probably not on the water today. I know we did get a few catches, but they were from some of the upper reaches of the tributaries in Talbot County for the last couple of catches we received today, and we're excited to talk about those. I say you're probably not on the water because it's awful windy. I'm happy to be here at the Merrill Center, looking out at the beautiful Chesapeake Bay and surrounded by some reef habitat. So this is what it's all about. This is what we're fishing: reef balls, oysters. Everybody's found out, and we're about to talk about the diversity of species that are caught on these reefs. And if you've found out, if you go out on the water, that you can catch a lot of different fish over these reefs. Our beloved rockfish, our striped bass, which are unfortunately not doing well right now, are called a rockfish because they used to be always found around oyster rocks, something we don't have enough of anymore. But we're building it back together, and excited to celebrate the diversity of species here. So, Allison, how about I kick it off and explain the Powerboat division first, and we'll talk about our winners.
Let's do it.
All right, so down along the bottom here, you can see the Powerboat division. We have a $200 all-tackle gift certificate, an Under Armour shirt, and fleece and outerwear with a retail value up to $150 for the first place. And then we have second place, we have the $125 all-tackle gift certificate and Under Armour top. And then third place, the $75 all-tackle gift certificate and Under Armour top. Sorry about that. Having trouble reading the ticker. All right, so Allison, why don't you tell us about the winners?
Yeah, our third place is getting $75 all-tackle gift certificate and an Under Armour hat. And all of our winners today are going to be also getting, on top of that, a 40% off coupon to use at Under Armour. So here we go with 6 species in third place. We have Scott Mcauley. Congratulations. And in second place with 7 species logged, we're keeping it in the family. We've got Naomi Mcauley. And then first place in our Powerboat division with 10 species logged is Christopher Morgan. So those are our top 3. Christopher Morgan is taking the Powerboat division this year. And that is an impressive display in terms of numbers of species. So great job to all you guys getting out there and being creative with your tackle, with your fishing locations, to really take advantage of these restored oyster reefs in the Chesapeake Bay. So really great job to everybody in the Powerboat division.
I know for a fact that Scott was fishing the brand new Janes Island reef. That was 2 different reef deployments were done this summer with a mix of reef balls and reef pyramids, which were donated from Captain Monty Hawkins of the Ocean City Reef Foundation. He does so much great work out there on our oceanside reefs. We were proud to work together down there in Crisfield to install something like this, but much bigger. About 130 of them that were built all because somebody picked up the phone and called and said, "Hey, I've heard about your reef ball program. I'd like to help you." And with us not being in the schools because of COVID, we took our equipment, took it down to Salisbury, and had some great partners build reefs, and everybody came together to just finally splash these. So they're going to continue to grow and to continue to be a great place to catch a diversity of different species, just like all these other restored reefs. And that's what makes reefs, again, so important. So I'm going to talk about the kayak division next. Same rundown of prizes. Kayakers, great way to get out on the water. I highly recommend it to anybody that hasn't tried kayak fishing. It's nice and peaceful, and you can, really get in some great places. So how about those winners, Allison?
All right. In third place, we have Charles Denton with 2 species caught. In second place, we had a tie, Ryan Bereznay, who just edged out Charles with his total length of species at 13.75 inches. And then in first place, we have Ronnie Kirin with 6 species logged. So congratulations to all of our kayak winners You all did a great job out there fishing. And one thing that was great to see this year is this is the 4th year that we've done the Rod and Reef Slam Fishing Tournament. And we expanded this year's tournament boundaries to include the additional oyster restoration tributaries in Maryland that have been started construction, the St. Mary's River on the western shore and the Minokan River on the lower eastern shore. So it was great to see a lot of this year's entries coming out of the Minokan River, the Janes Island area, Tangier Sound area. That was an entirely new tournament area for this year's tournament. And we were really happy to see everybody taking advantage of those expanded tournament boundaries. So great work, everybody in the kayak division.
Absolutely. All right. A few buttons to click here. We have the youth division up next. We had some great youth anglers out there on the water. In fact, one just called, and he and his dad are David Rogers. He and his dad are out going fishing right now to catch some more snakeheads. So David actually entered the only invasive species we received in the tournament, and we just let him know that we needed a 3-fish stringer to give away a prize. So David and his father are going to sign up for the Great Chesapeake Invasives Count, which is an event that we have going on, and it started back in April. Actually, we kicked it off in 2020 for the first time, but we ran it in 21 from April 1st, and it ends on Halloween. And since the prize that we had lined up for this event was not used, we're going to add it right to the invasives count. And I've owed folks an announcement and some prize drawings from previous months. We're going to have a big kind of party and giveaway for that event. We have some great gift cards and other stuff, but that angle cooler is going to go to the Great Chesapeake Invasives Count. So I hope David and his father, Paul, are out there catching some snakeheads today and turning them in. Anybody else that's out there and has not heard about our event yet, it is free to enter. And again, you have until Halloween to catch some fish on the iAngler tournament platform. If you see at the bottom of the screen, just go to ccamd.org/count. Invasive species are throughout our Chesapeake Bay watershed. The blue catfish and the northern snakehead are definitely having an impact on native species. There's a lot of information being gathered right now. In fact, the invasives count is part of that. We want to know where you're catching these fish in the general water body, and we want to know their stomach contents and whether or not they're in a breeding cycle. We're seeing these fish spread a lot. In fact, Maryland DNR has observed blue catfish reproduction for the first time in some of their surveys, their young of year surveys that just came out last week. So these fish are here, and we need to go out and target them and get them out of our waterways. So again, the Great Chesapeake Invasives Count is one way we're rewarding you with our great partners' support that actually develop citizen science and give back to you all for having your fun out there on the water. All those species are great to eat as well. And there's no such thing as not sustainable when it comes to catching snakeheads and blue cats. So we need them out of the Chesapeake Bay, and we need to eat our way out of this problem. So we are going to the youth division. That's where we started here. Allison, tell us about our winners.
All right. 3rd place in the youth division with 3 species.
That's my fault.
We have Riley Myers in 2nd place, another family win. We have Colton Myers with 5 species. And in 1st place, we've got David Rogers, who put in some work this week with 12 species in total. So again, great work to all of our youth anglers. It's so great to get those kids out on the water, get them engaged in angling, help them understand how habitat in a clean Chesapeake Bay helps fishing opportunities. So we love to see kids participating. Thank you so much, Scott. We love to have kids participating in the Rod and Reef. It's a family-friendly event in any other year when we would be having a big party out on the beach or big party over at Lowe's Wharf. We love seeing those youth anglers come out and particularly joining CCA Maryland for all their great youth programming, getting their CCA T-shirts.
So if there isn't a better shirt to show what we're talking about here, diversity of species over top of habitat, even Maryland's beloved blue crabs. This is a great T-shirt that we can only give away to you thanks to our great friends at Under Armour. So we're going to give these out to the youth participants. We'll get them in the mail to you and be in touch to do that. And Scott Mcauley actually already has one of these shirts because he's been volunteering at a reef ball, or he volunteered at a recent reef ball build, went out and fished on a reef ball reef, and is now going to win the prize and be able to spend some money at All Tackle and go fishing some more. So it's a big circle right there, and we're all in it together, folks. Allison, I know I can speak for Allison when I say we're happy to be here, and we're oyster and fish nerds ourselves, and love this Chesapeake Bay, and are going to continue to work very hard to conserve it and to enhance our reef and all of our habitat in the Chesapeake Bay. And your support is part of how we can do it.
Yeah, so before we move into our grand prize for this year's tournament, which is going to be the exciting pinnacle of today's tournament live ceremony, we've got the prize package, which is going to include a $300 all tackle gift certificate, an Under Armour apparel kit. You're going to be Under Armour from tip to tail. We got hats, shoes, tops, shorts. That Under Armour package alone is valued at about $1,400. So if you've ever wondered about getting some more gear for getting out on the water, Under Armour has got you covered. Yes. We're also going to have a CCA Maryland Angle Soft backpack cooler. I have to say that I won one of those backpack coolers in a previous CCA event, and they're amazing. They'll keep your stuff cold for days. I actually took it on a camping trip. So it's an amazing cooler, amazing prize package, and you'll get a nice little splurge opportunity at All Tackle in Annapolis as well. So, Dave, you want to pop that up on the screen? All right. So this year's grand prize winner is Floyd with 16 species caught. Putting in tons of work over this entire week-long tournament. So congratulations to you, Herb. 16 species, really getting out there and getting on those oyster reefs. I know he at least spent a little bit of time in the Tread Avon. Hopefully this is not too much spot burn for you, Herb. But in the Tread Avon and a couple other spots, Harris Creek maybe, a little time at Tillman maybe. So there's Tillman Island Reef, Harris Creek, and the Tread Avon are another two rivers where large-scale oyster restoration has been going on, and those areas have hundreds and hundreds of acres of restored oyster reefs. So when we're talking about habitat and we're talking about bringing back the productivity of the Chesapeake Bay for these recreationally important fish, that's the type of thing we're talking about. We've got state, federal, and nonprofit partners, including CCA Maryland, including CBF, putting in the time and work year after year to try and improve oyster habitat, but not just for the oysters. And that's what this tournament is all about, to show everybody and demonstrate right there, you can't beat 16 species on oyster reefs. So if you are looking for some good recreational fishing opportunities, head out to your local restored waterways with oyster reefs. Let your friends and family know that, oyster reef fishing is the place to be. And Dave, anything else before we wrap up today?
3D relief is what it's all about in the oyster world. That's what we build. There's a reason we're doing this hard work. I'm actually going to spend the afternoon with a great group of people unhatching some reef balls that were poured yesterday. We're a brand new reef we're building in the Magathy, Noah's Reef. And folks, we're in it together. Like I said, come out, get involved. We'll give you a great t-shirt from Under Armour if you come out to some of CCA's reef ball builds. Weather is about to put the brakes on it for this year, but keep an eye out on our website and our social media channels. And then we'll get right back at doing this work in the spring. So again, takes a village. Let's keep making the Chesapeake Bay better for everybody and enjoying great fishing days where you can catch maybe 16 species. So.
Yeah, and I just want to say before we wrap up this afternoon, thanks everybody for participating in the tournament. Thanks for your support of the Rod and Reef Slam. Thanks to Dave and CCA Maryland for co-hosting with CBF, to Under Armour for all their great support of the tournament and our organization's work for restoring habitat in the Chesapeake Bay, and to the Chesapeake Oyster Alliance for their support of the tournament as well. If you don't know what the Chesapeake Oyster Alliance is, Chesapeake Bay Foundation and Coastal Conservation Association Maryland are both partners in the Chesapeake Oyster Alliance, and we are aiming to put 10 billion new oysters into the Chesapeake Bay by 2025. So if you want to learn more about that, check out www.chesapeakeoysteralliance.org. And you can get tons more information about how we're going to achieve that goal of 10 billion new oysters. So thanks very much to all of our participants, all of our supporters, and all of our sponsors of this year's event. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. And fall fishing is here, folks. It's cold. Get out there and have some fun. Think about catching and releasing those rockfish. They need a break. There's plenty of other great fish out there to enjoy, and have fun and always be safe.
Bye, everyone.